Welcome back, Halo followers. Today, I want to talk about the real reason 343 Industries is being quiet, as well as share some hope as to what I think Halo Infinite's future is going to look like. To be honest with y'all, I have just been, and I'm going to be basically staying off script and off cuff this video, is that I've been kind of down about Halo Infinite. Not a big shocker. Pretty much like a lot of these past videos I've been making for a few months have been, every single one is kind of negative based. I mean, it's talking about what isn't going right, what is missing, the lack of communication, the weird things, the controversial things 343 are saying, and the things that they continue to do, and the things that they sometimes say and appear to do that are just not a good look from a PR perspective. You know, 343 isn't making it easy for us Halo content creators to stay, one, positive about the game, to talk about positive things that we're excited for, because we don't know what is coming. We have no roadmap. We have no idea what's happening with the game. And two, there isn't a whole lot to discuss as far as a live service game. Now, there's a lot of lore I personally haven't dug into, but yeah, as far as these events, I mean, they are just rehashing modes. It's the same Fiesta mode, they're calling Tactical Slayer SWAT now, and it's just the same thing that we've seen in Halo for a long time. The game is just dry, and we've seen that with people dropping off like flies. I mean, the population is getting really, really low, and it's hurtful a little bit. It's hurtful that 343 decided to shut down and just stop talking as soon as the fan base left, because it seems like they're not taking the people that have stayed behind, that still stay loyal to the game, that they have given them the least amount discussion, the least amount of, talking and updates. And they totally were when there was millions of people playing the game, but now that there's only maybe 100,000 people logging on a day, maybe even less, far less than that maybe, they're just really not bothering to do much or say much. I realized that 343, it's not that they've been silent per se, because they have been saying things. I think why everyone says that they are being silent, and why I feel like personally they are being silent, is because they're not actually addressing us head on. They're not really being real with us. They're not really talking to us like people. Like, there is a relationship between the community, the masses, and 343, all right? Yes, they did post news about Season 2. Yes, they are telling us about ranked news. And yes, they have the community managers come out here and say some things, which, recently was just a little bit messy. But, there is communication happening. The problem is that they kind of cherry pick what they want to talk about when they're not really tackling the major issues. For example, I think a lot of people would stop saying that 343 is being silent is if they, for example, made a blog update getting really real with people, actually addressing the things that they don't want to talk about, like how microtransactions are still too expensive, like how there is a lack of content, how it's obvious that the engine is suffering issues, what is going on at the team, what are their plans to turn this boat around and to get it going in the right direction, and are they working hard? They probably are right now. They're probably, noses in the computers just typing all day, doing whatever they need to do, modeling, engineering, whatever it is that they're working on. But I want to hear about it. I want to hear about the reality of what's going on here, and I think that we deserve that, especially the people that have stuck around for a long time. The problem is that 343 lets people's expectations and rumors and ideas, imagination go wild. They're not good at controlling the narrative, and the narrative is absolutely key when it comes to a live service game. You're having people expect that there is no more content coming. You're having people like myself expect that Season 2 is going to have absolutely nothing. I want them to be very clear, concise with us, and why they can't put out the roadmap, right? So I don't like that there is a huge lack of communication, especially when they made a lot of promises and set up a lot of expectations and are drip feeding us content. It feels disingenuous, and I think people do have a right to be upset. And I don't like it when they post passive-aggressive comments. Of course, sometimes people do kind of deserve that, because there are people that just take it too far, obviously. I don't promote harassment or verbal abuse or any of that to anyone, obviously, especially 343 in this case. Not promoting that at all. However, I would like them to be just straight with us, and that's why it feels like they're not saying anything when they are. It's like you're getting in an argument with a spouse or a friend or something, and they keep bringing up things that don't really, like, they're taking the easy route. They're tackling things that are manageable in the argument, but they're not tackling the real issue. And the real issue is that the game is lacking content, has lacked content apparently after being 6 years in production, and continues to lack of any real meaningful updates in the mid-season update, before and after. And season 2 is kind of looking like it's releasing minimal amount of content, and they won't tell us why. Now we're being led to lead popular beliefs now that the engine itself is broken. This is making people have even less hope that the game is going to have any meaningful future. And I think one of the best ways to feel heard is for them to just cut the BS and just say it how it is. And ultimately, I'm just wondering where the leadership is at 343. You know, the community managers are nice, but we are your customers, and I feel like the bigger people like Phil Spencer and Bonnie Ross and Frank O'Connor and even Joseph Staten. Joseph Staten's been the only one actually communicating with us, like, I guess every time there's a chance for them to communicate about something big. But these other guys, they're just being kind of silent. You know, they haven't once addressed, they've come around and celebrated that Halo Infinite has had a successful launch, but they have completely ignored the viral post and the viral complaints that people are having about the game. And once again, that's why it feels like they're being silent. With that being said, let's change the tune real quick. I've been kind of talking pretty negative about all this stuff, but I think that there might be a silver lining to it and a comeback story to be made. Now, I say this because Forge is a thing with Halo Infinite. Thank God. Forge is obviously that tool that makes everything possible for us Halo fans in the way that we want it to be. Almost everything possible. Halo Infinite's Forge mode has been getting a lot of leaks these past few weeks, and from what I've seen, I believe that it could be the saving grace of Halo Infinite. Another prominent YouTuber, Halo YouTuber Fawn, had made a video about this, and he disagreed that Forge would be the saving grace. I disagree with that. I think that Forge is going to be able to give the community a lot of fresh new content all the time, and it looks really great. The fact is that we're going to be able to object scale things. There's a scripting engine that allows all kinds of different ideas to be executed, basically campaigns to be executed. There is so much possibility. It's not all going to be there at launch. People are going to have to learn the tools and then build upon ideas and borrow ideas and mix and match and remix everything. It's going to be a process that I think for the first 3 months there's going to be some really interesting content. I think after the first 3 months there's going to be starting to become very advanced, very mind-blowing content. Forge in Halo Infinite essentially looks like modding tools light, and that is going to be coming August of this year. Hopefully everything works fine, and I believe for the most part it will. I think there's of course going to be some bugs in it. So being able to save maps, being able to have a file share system, having a custom games browser, all those things are going to be really enhancing the content route, right? Or making things better. In fact, I think 343 should really prioritize getting Forge. It's really important for the community to be able to create its own content, right? At this point, 343 is struggling right now, and I think it would buy them a lot of time. Custom games, infection, just a couple custom game features, as well as custom games not broken, because I think it is actually at the moment since the last update, is going to enhance the game a lot. So I think Halo Infinite will have a strong comeback in August of this year. I do believe that in April there's going to be, they said there's going to be a Season 2 update, and then May 3rd is when we're getting the Season 2 drop. So I think that's going to buy them a little bit of time, but I do want to see more content than what we've seen already. We have 2 maps and more armor, and I believe 3 modes coming. They're not all new. I think one of them is going to be a free-for-all attrition type thing. I thought it was infection at first. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Maybe it's battle royale. I don't know. There's also the news that Certain Affinity is supposedly working on a large mode behind the scenes that might be dropping, I'm gonna guess, probably in Season 4 or Season 5. Which you can find that story of maybe about 10-20 videos before I posted this one. So be sure to check that out, guys, and I am looking forward to Forge. I think that's going to be the saving grace, so thank God that Halo Infinite has that planned, you know, because if it wasn't, I don't know what would happen with this game. But anyways, guys, I just decided I thought I'd talk a little bit about why it feels like 343 is being silent when they're not, and what I'm excited for personally, because by golly, we need some hope right now, right? So Anyways, guys, you take care. You have a good day, and I hope you enjoyed the content. If you did, be sure to like this video and be sure to smash that subscribe button, actually, and join me on the journey of following Halo for over 10 years. All right, I'll catch you in the next one soon. Peace.